Good evening. Welcome to the Joliet Junior College regular meeting of the Board of Trustees, dated Wednesday, January 14th. As we begin, I'd like to remind everyone that this meeting will be conducted in accordance with Board Policy 014500, meetings of the board and Robert's Rules of Order. Our attorney, Brian Copeman, will serve as the parliamentarian to ensure the meeting proceeds professionally. You'll notice a staff member is present to assist with time management. Per board policy, each trustee will have 3 minutes to speak and 2 minutes for rebuttal, with continuous timing observed and one speaker holding the floor at a time. In alignment with board policy 01.03.00, I encourage everyone to maintain civility and respect even when expressing different opinions. This commitment to civility is essential to fostering productive and respectful discussions. 1.1, Karen, can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Bottomley.
Here.
Trustee Broderick.
Present.
Trustee Garcia Gann.
Here.
Trustee Harris. Trustee Lee. Trustee Morales.
Present.
Trustee Bishop.
Here.
Trustee Bazinski.
Here.
We have a quorum.
I'd like to welcome everyone this evening, and in honor of a newly seated Amanda Quinn, I'd like you to do the pledge if you could, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 1.2, communications. Kelly Roder Tonelli.
Good evening and Happy New Year, trustees, President Namuo, and our JJC community. Admittedly, my favorite part of these monthly meetings is this moment right here when we recognize and celebrate the magic of collaboration, partnership, and mission-driven work. It's also a time to reflect on the impact that we make because we're better together. This evening, I'd like to welcome and introduce you to Rita Ficina, Executive Director of CASA of River Valley, and Meg Pennington, Manager of Development and Community Promotion and Advocate Supervisor. Side note, Meg's son is coming to JJC next year to study fire science, so we've got a future wolf in the audience. CASA, which stands for Court Appointed Special Advocate of River Valley, trains volunteers to advocate for the best interests of children in Will and Grundy counties who have experienced abuse, neglect, give them a voice in court, and stay with them until they find a safe and permanent home. With community support, CASA aims to ensure that every child has a dedicated advocate by their side. In December, the JJC's Office of Inclusive Excellence and Advocacy initiated a campus-wide Angel Tree program with CASA. So if you'd all please join me in welcoming Meg and Rita to the podium.
Thank you, Kelly. I just wanted to take the time to thank the JJC community, which Kelly is correct, my son will be a part of next year, and we're very much looking forward to, for their participation with CASA on the Angel Giving Tree program. This is not my first interaction with JJC. Actually, in the past, I have also referred a lot of the kids that we work with to the Workforce Development Program and have worked with that program as well. But when Monique Claiborne contacted us, she was actually one of our former interns years ago, and she reached out to me earlier this fall and asked if JJC could partner with CASA to provide gifts to children in our program. As of 2025, I clarified the number today. We served 467 children last year in the Will and Grundy County area. These are children whose families are all involved with the Department of Children and Family Services and the foster care system. Not all of them are living in foster homes. A lot of those children are living intact in their homes, but 96% of those children are coming from circumstances that are considered low income, and their families are facing struggles such as mental illness, homelessness, substance abuse, domestic violence. So these kids, most of them, they're not going to have a good Christmas. Most of them don't get showered with gifts. Their families can't afford it. And I am so happy to say that with the help of JJC, we were able to provide gifts for probably almost 145 kids. Monique had contacted me before and asked if we could even push up our pickup by a couple of days because she had so many people coming in for gifts. And I think she ended up doing 2 trees, which was just amazing. And the gifts that were provided and the generosity from the JJC community was just so heartwarming. I went back to our office that day after the wonderful reception that was thrown for us, and we brought back all the gifts, and my coworkers and I just went through it, and we were like, look at this Lego, and this gift card. And I have a youth on my own caseload working as an advocate supervisor who is starting spring semester at a different university, and I gave him one of the Nike backpacks that was provided for him through the program. And he had never had a backpack like that before. He had never received anything like that. And he was just so touched by it. And so was Casa. We were so touched by the generosity and just want to thank you for helping these children and their families in their time of need. Kelly and I have spoken, and we are definitely looking forward to also partnering maybe on more things together and really establishing a collaboration between Casa, River Valley, and the Joliet Junior College community. So I look forward to that. But really our program, we've grown leaps and bounds over the past couple of years. We've expanded in 2020 from Will County to Grundy County as well, and our case numbers continue to grow. We've about approximately 120 volunteers that work for us as well, or that volunteer for our program, which we could not do what we do advocating for children without those volunteers. But we're always looking for further opportunities to grow and partner with people in the community and establishments in our community. Does anybody have any questions about CASA or anything that we do?
Just real quick, what does the CASA stand for? It's for court-appointed.
Special advocate. So
Thank you.
what happens is when a child or children in a family come into the foster care system, they go to the court. And typically, if they're not assigned a CASA, they would be assigned a public defender to serve as their guardian ad litem. But instead, our advocates serve as guardian ad litem to these children or their families. So each advocate is assigned to a child or children within one family's case. Whereas if they had a public defender, some of the public defenders have caseloads up to 300. And so they may, if they're lucky, and this is through no fault of their own, they're doing a great job on their own side of things, but they're lucky if they maybe see these kids once or twice a year, but yet they're supposed to represent their best interest in court. Whereas our advocates, they're meeting with these children on a monthly basis. They're seeing them, they're establishing relationships with them, and they're being a constant for them while their case is open. Because these kids oftentimes, whether they're in their home or they're in a foster home, they may be shuttled to numerous foster homes. If they're changing foster homes, they may be going into numerous schools. There's a huge backlist for service providers, so they may have multiple therapists. I just received a report from a therapist this morning for a child on my caseload. It was their 4th therapist since April. So these kids aren't even getting a chance to establish a relationship, to share their trauma and to work through their trauma. But when they have a CASA by their side, their CASA is able to be their constant throughout their case and support them and look out for their best interest.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all you do. And I'd like to even consider volunteering. If you have a card, maybe?
I do have a
I'd
card, and
appreciate
we
that.
love
Thank you.
volunteers. Like I said, we cannot do what we do without our volunteers. I serve, in addition to my community work, I also serve as an advocate supervisor. So I oversee a number of volunteers in their cases. But they're the ones that go out and they're doing the monthly visits. They're building the relationship with the children. I do have a business card in my wallet, but if you also go to our website, casarivervalley.org, it is very easy to find how to volunteer. There's an online application that you can fill out, and then you will be called afterwards for a basic, getting to know you interview, background check. So yeah, it's a great program, and like I said, we love volunteers. So if anybody else is interested, please reach out.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time.
There's about maybe 75 to 100 kids that are unserved at the current time. So that's always the gap we're trying to
Oh,
fill.
wow. It's a big gap.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
Thank you again for your
No,
work.
thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 1.3, proclamations. Dr. Carl Brook.
I'd like to invite Jonah Nichols and his village forward. Members of the Board of Trustees and those in attendance at today's meeting, both physically and virtually, it gives me great pleasure to introduce JJC student Jonah Nichols, who has graciously agreed to read the JJC proclamation, which recognizes the month of February 2026 as African American History Month. Before Jonah reads the proclamation, I'd like to share a little bit about him. Jonah is a business major with a passion for design and community engagement. He works as a student employee for the Center for Multicultural Student Access and Success and Educational Talent Search and the TRIO program, where he promotes workshops and supports students from low-income, first-generation, and disability backgrounds. Jonah also serves as public relations manager for the Black Student Union, gaining valuable skills that align with his goal of becoming a professional flyer designer. He plans to transfer to Northern Illinois University in spring 2027. And this is the line I love the most. Jonah would like to be remembered as a at JJC for inspiring students to keep going in their career and to never back down from any challenges they face. Amen on that.
All right.
Amen. All I humbly present to you, JJC student Jonah Nichols.
African American History Month 2026. Whereas the contributions of the citizens of the African American ancestry to the history and culture of the United States are invaluable and abundant. And whereas these contributions deserve recognition. And whereas citizens of the African American ancestry comprise a significant percentage of the residents of Illinois Community College District Number 525. And whereas it is the goal of Joliet Junior College to provide its students with a comprehensive curricular and co-curricular educational experience, with consideration given to the contributions of all socially identifiable groups within American history and culture. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of Illinois Community College District Number 525, Joliet Junior College, counties of Will, Grundy, Kendall, LaSalle, Kankakee, Livingston, and Cook, State of Illinois, hereby proclaims February 1st, 2026 through February 28th, 2026 as African American History Month in Illinois Community College District Number 525, and will raise the African American History Month flag in celebration of its students and community. Adopted this 14th day of January 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 1.3.2, Career and Technical Education Month. Dean Ken Santiago. Give him, yeah, thank you.
It's lonely up here.
She can handle it. She can handle it. The ad lib.
Good evening, President Moore, Chair, Board of Trustees, and the JJC community. I don't have a village, but I have a fancy top. Whereas February 1st through the 28th, 2026 has been designated Career and Technical Education Month by the Association for Career and Technical Education. And whereas Career and Technical Education offers students the opportunity to gain the academic, technical and employability skills necessary for career readiness. Whereas the ever-increasing cooperative efforts of career and technical educators in partnership with business and industry stimulate the growth of our regional economy, nation by providing graduates with high-wage, in-demand careers. Whereas career and technical education at JJC affords individuals with opportunities to learn new skills across more than 50 programs. Now therefore be it resolved that Joliet Junior College Board of Trustees proclaims the month of February 2026 as Career and Technical Education Month in Illinois Community College District 525, adopted this 14th day of January 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you. Item 1.4, recognitions of retirement. Dr. Carl Brooks.
Okay, with sincere gratitude, I don't think she's here. With sincere gratitude, we celebrate the retirement of Sandra Veselitis, a specialist in the admission department. Sandy proudly served JJC and our students for nearly 35 years. Let me repeat that again. Sandy proudly served for 35 years. During Sandy's time at the college, she has been a humble innovator and leader who always puts students first. She has been a genuine friend and collaborative co-worker to many staff members throughout the college. Sandy can be remembered for her expertise and commitment in cultivating and creating the first online admission application in collaboration with the IT department in the early 2000s. She also assisted in coordinating student residency processes, communication management processes, and has been a key contributor throughout the ERP conversion project. Sandy also found creative and efficient ways to improve the student experience and helped lead the department in a positive way. We will greatly miss Sandy's dedication, compassion for students, and positive spirit within the admission department and throughout the college. We celebrate her retirement.
We need a motion and a second.
So
Motion
moved.
to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Okay, now we're celebrating Michelle Roman Garcia. It is with deep appreciation and warm wishes that we celebrate the retirement of Michelle Roman Garcia, Director of the Multicultural and Undocumented Resources Department. After 18 years of remarkable service to the Joliet Junior College community. Overall, Michelle's work has been a steadfast advocate for equity, inclusion, and student success. Her leadership has shaped vital programs, expanded support services, and created welcoming spaces where students from all backgrounds, especially those historically underrepresented, to find community, guidance, and empowerment. Her commitment to our CMA students and their families has left a lasting impact that will continue to strengthen our campus for years to come. Michelle's work has touched countless lives, and her legacy is woven into the very fabric of our institution. We are profoundly grateful for her dedication, her passion, and her vision. We sincerely celebrate Michelle's extraordinary career at JJC and wish her a joyful and fulfilling retirement. Thank you, Michelle, for your time of service.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Item 1.5, public comments. Karen, do we have a public comment today?
We do. Chairman Podzinski, we have Jeff Carey tonight who would like to speak regarding agenda item 3.2.3. And as a reminder, Joliet Junior College welcomes public comments during its monthly board meetings. Per policy 015501, the purpose of this opportunity is to direct comments to the board, keeping in mind that comments should be in good taste, and please demonstrate consideration for others. Please refrain from inappropriate, irrelevant, or disruptive comments. Each speaker is allotted up to 3 minutes to speak. Thank you for following this procedure.
All right, thank you. Thank you guys for having me here tonight. I just want to take this opportunity to speak on agenda item 3.2.3, the Public Safety Institute, and thank you for this opportunity. This has been a tremendous experience working with your team that you guys put together. I know without that team you guys have, I know we would not be at this point today. It would have taken us way longer to get this thing off the ground. So you guys have assembled a fantastic leadership group. They've helped us along this process, a lot of things that we didn't know, questions that we wouldn't have thought to ask. But not only that, the excitement around the fire department and even the community when we talk to other fire departments about having an opportunity like this to combine a classroom education with the hands-on portion. When we were interviewing some of these firms, I think it was Matt would ask the question a lot, like, what did this mean to when you did this at other colleges? And all of them said that their enrollments for these programs doubled and tripled after they added a hands-on portion. And I know if most students were like me, sitting in a classroom, a lot of times I would daydream and lose interest. But when it came to the hands-on portion, that's where I would get it. That's what really made me learn. And I was much more of a hands-on learner than I ever was a classroom. So I think this opportunity is not only going to be great for the first responders in our area that are already active, but for the future first responders and for our community. By offering this training, we will be much better trained and make a safer community. So I'm just here obviously to support it. If you guys have any questions, I would love to take them. Other than that, thank you for this opportunity.
Trustees, do
Thank
you have
you.
any questions?
Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Karen, do we have any additional public comments?
We do not.
Item 1.6, a moment of silence. Dr. Nanul?
Chairman Budzinski and members of the college community, for the first time since I've been here, and Chairman, I believe it's the first time since you've been here as well, we actually have no names to read for the moment of silence. Nonetheless, I'd ask that the board and the college community join me in honoring that tradition of moment of silence for certainly those who have been lost and may not have made their way to our list.
I have a name I'd like to mention.
Thank you.
I'd like to mention the name of Renee Nicole Good, who lost her life on January 7th in Minneapolis.
Thank you, Chairman.
Item 1.7, selected reports. 1.7.1, legal services. Dr. Klein-Nemol.
Thank you, Chairman. As this comes up, I'm going to ask, I'll have some help with this one. Karen Kissel will help at different times, and Brian Koopman will help as well. In late September, mid-September 2023, the board approved unanimously to engage with KGG. And what we'd like to do today, we're about halfway through our engagement. The board's authorization allowed for a total of a 5-year commitment. We're near the halfway point there. So we wanted to give the board an update, a report on some of the services that have been provided after that engagement. And we're going to start with just some costs. Now, for those of you who had to engage legal services in any way, shape, or form, you know that they're not inexpensive. So what we've done in this report is chosen some years historically to give the college community, to give the board and the college community some sense as to the costs we've incurred as an institution. So I've left the names of the firms out. I don't know that they're important to divulge publicly, although for those connected to the college over the last 10 years or so, you can most likely identify these. It's also important to note that the agreement we currently have with KGG is not an exclusive agreement. The college actually engages with a number of firms to satisfy the interests and help us solve a number of complex problems. Rarely does one specific firm satisfy everything one institution or one organization might need. So I want us to go back in time a little bit to the year 2015, where the college incurred a total of, and this is fiscal year 2015, $327,000 that fiscal year, which comes out to an average of $27,333. Fast forward 5 years to the start of the COVID pandemic, FY20, where the firm we had engaged at the time totaled $134,000 with an average of $11,000 a month. Now, mind you, it is very difficult to predict how we might engage, what we might use. Something like a global pandemic could happen, and we could grapple with compliance-related issues in addition to health-related challenges. So it's really hard to predict what we might incur from week to week, month to month. For FY25, KGG billed us a total of $156,000 for an average of about $13,000 per month. Now, as the administration grappled with and the board unanimously agreed in the year 2023, as we thought about all of the different needs this college community has, from contracts to litigation, to just general legal support, and I offer to the board about halfway through the engagement that there has been tremendous value provided by KGG. What I'll do next is I'll kind of jump to, and Karen, if you wouldn't mind kind of talking through this one a little bit in terms of the percentages we offer, and then we've got one more slide and Brian's going to come up.
Sure. What you have in front of you is just a pie chart of the FY25 legal services that were provided to us by KGG. What they do every month is they provide us a breakdown for every month's worth of activities, so we're able to track what we spend monies on as it relates to legal services. So as you see in this pie chart, about 50% of the work that was done by KGG was general legal work. 2% was for labor and unions. 15% was to assist us with contracts. 18% is for meeting preparation and attendance. Brian also attends the policy committee meetings, so in addition to this meeting. 6% was for litigation. 3% was for FOIAs that come in and the support they provide us there. And 6% were for personnel-related matters, for a total of $156,000.
And Karen, can you go through this slide as well and just talk about,
Sure.
how you gathered this information?
Sure. As part of the process, what President Namuo asked was that I informally survey all of the people at JJC who work with KGG. And they said some amazing things about them. Positive experience, accessible and knowledgeable, provides written responses as needed. Brian is very responsive and resourceful. If he does not know immediately, he will quickly research and get back to me. One comment, Brian is very approachable and easy to work with. Sometimes the questions or situations that I call about can be less than straightforward. Brian takes the time to talk through the issue and come to the most reasonable solution. I would highly recommend continuing this partnership. Another one, Brian and Matt are both very responsive to my request in a timely manner. Attorney Tiffany Thompson, who worked with us with the Grundy acquisition. Attorney Thompson has been exceptional working with the college and the administration and the Grundy County Committee. Her deep knowledge, strategic insight, and talent for navigating complex acquisition matters have been instrumental. Finally, Brian was easy to reach and made himself available whenever requested. He always followed up in a reasonable time frame. I also asked if there were any concerns or issues by this group. and none surfaced. Everybody is very impressed with working with KJG and their responsiveness.
So Chairman, what we wanted to do is just give the board and the college community a comprehensive look at not only the services that Brian provides, the level of service, and also the great value that KGG has provided to JJC over the last approximately two and a half years. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Brian.
Thank you. I wasn't expecting those comments, but thank you. JJC is a fantastic institution, greatly respected throughout the community. Going on 125 years now, right?
Hey.
1901. I don't want to brag, but JJC is the first community college. KGG is a firm that can tie its roots back to 1874. Been around a little over 150 years. Started out known as Haley and O'Donnell, representing local farmers, local railroads, perhaps for the EJ&E, and local steel industry. In 2004, we joined forces with a national law firm that had over 350 attorneys. It was an interesting experience, and we enjoyed it. That's our big firm experience you see on our website there. But in 2008, we decided to de-associate from that firm. It was very amicable. We found that our client base is Joliet and Will County, and they really did not benefit from the broad scope of services and coverage that a national firm offered. I mean, we had offices from Washington, D.C. to L.A., Detroit and Chicago, down to Houston, all over the country. So in 2008, I, along with 6 partners, including Matt Campbell, broke off from that firm and started KGG. We have today 21 attorneys, 6 paralegals, 9 support staff. Our attorneys inhabit either our Joliet office or our Morris office, and we have a broad range of experience and knowledge that we think serves our clients well, from local government representation, contracts, litigation, employment, you name it. We pretty much cover it except for big-time criminal cases and intellectual property. That being said, it's that breadth that we have that allows me, I think, to represent this college well. I enjoy working with everyone here. In my time, I have not had a single inquiry from anybody I worked with at this college that I would call an unnecessary contact. I would define that as, a phone call or an email, where at the end of it I say, that really wasn't necessary. They could have handled this without me. I want to compliment the board, and I want to compliment President Nemuo. President Nemuo, Dr. Farmer, all the vice presidents, cabinet, faculty, and staff, everybody I have had the opportunity to work with at this college, they're professional, they're knowledgeable, they care, they're thoughtful, bright, very sharp, and they're just a true joy to work with, a real pleasure and a compliment, I think, to the board and to President Nemuo. This institution is fantastic. I am honored and privileged to represent Joliet Junior College and support its mission and its students. So thank you. Thank you for that opportunity. I truly enjoy it. It's a pleasure. And I'm happy to answer any questions anybody may have.
Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
I do. Just to go back, I do have the agreement that was signed, and it's showing it goes till August 31st of 2026. So I do have the agreement, Dr. Nomura, that shows that it was signed by us, by Brian and by Karen Kissel, that it goes to 2026. So I don't know where it goes further than beyond that.
I'm going to put Karen on deck here and just offer, built into these agreements are, at any time, if things are not going well, built into the agreements are an understanding really that, one side can raise concerns with the other and the two can negotiate those differences. And So there are several milestones. The milestone that you've identified, Trustee Broderick, Karen Kissel is going to talk a little bit about.
Why is my clock still going? I'm not talking. I've lost 40 seconds on it.
You do have the floor, though.
Hmm?
You do have the floor.
But I'm not talking.
The clock's not running.
In
She just
September,
stopped it.
in September of '23, the board approved a resolution that allowed us to enter into a contract with JGG for an initial 3 years and then 2 one-year extensions. So we do have 5 years that the board approved in 2023.
So it says upon mutual agreement for 2 one-year periods.
Correct.
So were we supposed to approve it or you were supposed to approve it? Because I don't remember the board approving it.
The board did approve the full 5 years. They approved 1 3-year term and 2 additional 1-year extensions in the actual board document.
Okay, then when we go back to the schedule, the rate schedule, because this is where I've been asking the questions about, what does option 1 of the 8,500 a month, the 9,000 a month, and then we go to we have 3 different options, Brian, and I've asked what does the retainer cost versus the hourly, because there's 2 options for retainer and 1 for hourly. And when I look at what we had as a competitive one of what another legal firm had given to us, if you go back to the chart that shows, can we go back to the chart of the legal fees? No, the one, yeah, that one. Like the meeting prep and attendance, that all would have been included in the other, as considered in the retainer, as well as, there was another one that would have been included, the FOIAs, and the general questions would have been included in it, and it was much cheaper, and they were on a retainer. So I'm looking at it because we didn't vote on any retainer, you guys decided on an hourly, and I'm looking at hourly rate, when I'm looking at, we had the option of retainers, what's included in what the retainers would have been.
Well, honestly, I submitted that back in the summer of 2023.
Right.
I have not reviewed those documents in some time, but I offered 3 options to the college. One was a full retainer option, one was a hybrid retainer plus hourly, and the third was pure hourly.
Mhm.
The letter that was signed, that was presented to me as a contract, provided for hourly. That's all it provided for, so that's how we have proceeded since that time.
And I understand that that's how you proceeded, but I'm asking, what would it be included in doing a retainer? So that we could see the economical savings if we did do a retainer versus what we're seeing up here of the 200 and whatever it was that was up on the screen previously.
I don't know how you can gauge that. As Dr. Numuo indicated earlier, you never know what's going to come up, right? You never know how many services are going to be required in any area. I can tell you that I currently have a client that I have a retainer on just for their meetings. And I would say out of 12 months out of the year, I make out ahead in 10 of those months. And there's maybe 2 where I lose, so to speak.
Yeah,
So
because
it depends. It depends on what comes up and what's involved.
Because when I've been, checking with our other community colleges, they're all on retainers with their law firms, and they're not paying as much as we are. That's why I keep bringing it up when I look at that. So that's why I'm asking, what would a retainer do for us? What does it include?
I don't know that I can answer that question. The retainer would include whatever is agreed to, including the dollar amount and the services on
But
it.
if you look at and I've got the whole proposal, I brought the whole thing since I knew it was up here. I don't see the breakdown of what a retainer would be. Karen? When you said it was better to go with the hourly versus the retainer, help me.
We did get 3 proposals. One was a full retainer of $8,000 a month. One was a partial retainer. I think it was 50. One was $8,500 a month, and KGG did detail out what would be included, and also detailed out what wouldn't be included in the retainer. Another one was a hybrid retainer, which would have been $5,000 a month, which was general work, human resources, personnel, FOIAs, litigation, meeting attendance, labor and employment contracts, and for anything over and above that, it would be a specific hourly rate. And
we chose the hourly rate option.
So if you do the comparisons between all three of them, and you looked at what was included in a hybrid one, or I mean, option one, option two, would there not have been a savings in in doing a retainer?
It's really, I'd have to look at that now. I haven't looked at it.
Could you do that? Because, I mean, I'm looking at this until 8/30 of 2026 is the one we're on right now.
So I think what we can do, Trustee Broderick and Chairman, we can commit to doing that level of analysis. I mean, obviously, we want to ensure that we're being responsible stewards of the public dollar. You know, I'd offer a couple of things. Number one, with a simple retainer model, you know, if anything highly specialized comes up, there's an hourly fee that's greater than what was agreed upon. But certainly, we can commit to doing that level of analysis. I mean, we want to ensure that we're providing maximum value to the college community.
Yes, because typically when I see other proposals from other firms, it tells me what the retainer is and what it includes, and then it tells me what the review of other things would be and what it would include and what the hourly rate would be.
Anyone else?
I'd just like to say, I'd like to thank Brian. I know whenever I have any questions or concerns, you're always very responsive to me as well. And I know that, you know, we are a very unique college and we have our own challenges. And, you know, you've done a wonderful job in stepping up and making sure that, you know, we remain in compliance with everything. I don't know how many other community colleges have board members suing them. So, you know, thank you for supporting us in that as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I can go ahead and provide a little bit of a reaction. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide, please. And also thank you for the service of the firm. This particular slide, I found it really helpful. Just a general breakdown. Again, we know what are some things that we are dealing with here at the college, but this is really helpful in being able to put it into perspective that 50% of the overall legal service is going into general. And then just that general breakdown, we do have to acknowledge that in order to be prepared for a meeting, there has to be meeting preparation and attendance, which makes perfect sense. And all the other categories are a reflection of the work that is being done. So that makes all the sense in the world. I was really impressed by the survey that you all conducted and the feedback. And it goes back to our commitment for transparency, accountability, and making sure that we are doing the best that we can with this particular firm, and making sure that we're also getting feedback from the college community in terms of the perspective and the work that is being done. So thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Bottomley.
Yeah, I really want to say thank you for the overview, Dr. Numo. I think it's good to touch base, especially at this point when we're halfway through the contract. I want to say thank you to Brian Coatman for providing legal services. I did have one question. What is general legal?
It's everything that doesn't fit into another piece of that pie.
Can you give me like a random example of like
It
what
can
that would
be,
include?
well, for example, I'm asked to review policies occasionally.
Okay.
It doesn't fall in any of the other ones or board policies. It can include simple questions that somebody reaches out on related to Open Meetings Act. You know, it runs
Just everything
the gamut.
else.
You know, they need somebody wants to understand how a particular provision of the community college, you know, Public Community College Act affects something. So it might be research on a particular issue. So it could be a multitude of things.
Perfect, thank you. I think that my one last thing that I would like to add is that in my professional experience, in my working experience, my day job, what you're talking about for our contract extension and what was approved, a 3-year contract with a 1-year extension and then another year extension as a possibility is super standard. And as long as we continue to have a mutually understood relationship and moving together positively, I see no reason to question that.
Thank you.
Trustee Harris.
I just want to say thank you, Brian, for always answering the call and patient with the questions that I have, and I'm sure others. So I appreciate that. And being around Joliet for a while, I know that the organization or your firm is a reputable one. And myself, I'm glad to have you here. And so I'm sure that once we look into the additional research, that whatever the college does will be in the best interest of the college and to benefit the work that you do as well. So thank you. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you. If I may add, that's another thing that's in general is when I get calls from trustees. They have general questions.
Trustee Bishop.
I'd like to briefly echo the sentiment of my peers, and I'd also like to say that maybe half of that general legal might be my phone call. Not really, but I will say thank you, Mr. Kopman, for always being willing to answer questions and help me deeper understand the policy implications and the effects that it could have on our students. And thank you for your time thus far. I hope the board decides to continue working with you following my term's end.
Thank you.
So I want to add that, I mean, this is an excellent checkpoint for us to see where we're at in this contract. But what I want to remind the board is this is something we approved in 2023. Anytime this board approves something, we agree as board members, and our code of conduct is to support that approval. If this contract is for 5 years, we need to be supporting this for 5 years. I view this as a complete waste of time to try and go back and put more administrative work on people when it will not change anything. We are under contract. We will be under contract. It's been approved. Why are we wasting this time? I know you don't like the firm. I know you like to compare us to other colleges. They're not on our board. We don't do what other colleges do. We do what JJC does. Back in 2023, we approved this. We need to honor what we approved as a board. You need to support what this board approved on. You don't have to agree with it, but you have to support it. That's part of our code of conduct. When we vote and accept a contract, that's it. We don't keep negotiating for 5 more years. I'm done.
Can I make one statement?
Yes, you have 2 minutes now. You have rebuttal.
The only thing I'm going to say is, yes, we did approve it, but yes, financially, as conservative as we're supposed to be and financial watchful as we're supposed to be, we are allowed to bring this up, and that's why I bring it up. And I do ask to see the monthly bills, and I think if all of you looked at the monthly bills, you get more of an idea of what goes on, and I think that's something that all of you should pursue looking at, because when you look at the general legal, a lot of it was regarding the Morris issues. You know, when you ask, you know, Elaine what it was, it's all detailed out here, and it gives you a good detail of what everything is that's going on. And as you said before, Dr. Nemo, some attorneys have some things, some attorneys have other things. That's why back in May of 2024, I think it was, we approved another attorney firm. We do that just because we have to be prepared for whatever could possibly come up. And it's not that I'm ripping it apart. I'm just saying, is there a way of watching our cost? I'm cost sensitive, and that's where I end my situation of saying I'm cost sensitive. And I look at RFPs, you know how I've always torn them apart and looked at them. That's why I was asking, and that's why I brought it. I like to have information in front of me so that I'm speaking with information detailed so that I understand what's presented and how we can discuss it. That's it. Nothing damaging.
Any other rebuttals?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Just going back to, and this is in relation to 3.1, connected to legal services. What we have in front of us is going to be a reflection of the work that is being done. So we're getting billed for the work that is being done, and it's here every single month, and we do have it in our book, so that way we do take a look. And yeah, we have all the numbers right there for our convenience. That's it. Thank you.
I just want to say that all trustees get a board packet with the bills. We do look at all of the bills, so we understand what we're voting on. We do have questions. We ask them very civilly prior to the board meeting in preparation for today's meeting. We've asked questions. We've received responses either from the president or he's asked somebody else to respond to the questions that we have. We are all watching the taxpayer dollars. We understand that. We are all good stewards of our the finances of every single one of us. We don't grandstand as much, but we do ask questions, and I am thankful for Dr. Klein-Amuo and the faculty and staff Karen Kissel, that is always answering the questions we have ahead of the board meeting, so that we're not making a show here for anybody and providing entertainment. So thank you.
Yes, Trustee Harris.
I want to clarify my last statement. When I said yes, I do agree. Everything I said to Brian and about Brian, and when we go over information, I'm speaking of the next contract. I want to be clear. I am not talking about what we're in now. I'm okay with that. You're speaking of moving forward. So if the contract is in and it doesn't, 2020, in the 28th, then we can discuss or start looking at that particular time, not while we're in a new one. And I want to make that clear. So I just want to make that clear.
Anyone else?
Chairman, just a final thought from the administration. When we need to engage Brian, we need to engage Brian. So and I appreciate Brian's comments in regards to his interactions with the leaders at JJC. We have some very specific rules as to who can engage Brian, how and when they engage him. So we're very careful, we're very judicious. We recognize that we pay for Brian's time. It's added tremendous value, but I think that relationship has been working very well. Thank you.
Item 1.7.2, the student trustee report. Brenton Bishop.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's so nice to see all of you again, and Happy New Year. Welcome to spring 2026. So, Wednesday, January 14th, 2026, Student Trustee Report. Yesterday marked the beginning of Welcome Back Week on main campus. Today we had some events where students made intention bracelets, got the stuff. I'm not quite sure what they're called, but they're kind of like Squishmallows if any of you have kids and they're obsessed with them. I know my siblings are. And then I've included a picture from my research presentation that took place at the end of last semester, which we've now begun the next phase of, which is virology research. We all might remember Dr. Ward highlighting research at JJC main campus, and oh my gosh, what a unique and incredible opportunity. For upcoming campus events for January and February, on the 20th, we'll be Welcome Back at Romeoville. The 21st is the faculty and staff versus student dodgeball game. The 22nd is Welcome Back at City Center in the lobby. The 23rd is the Political Etiquette Summit hosted by Student Government. I'd encourage all of you to attend. A lot of planning and hard work went into this event. On the 27th, OSA will be hosting a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. The 3rd and 4th of February will be Main Street 2026 in the C Concourse. The 10th and 12th will be Arts and Crafts at Romeoville and City Center, respectively. The 24th is the tutoring pop-up at Romeoville 1101. And the 27th of February is the Black Student Union Gala 2026. Now, I might know the theme. I won't tell you, but go look at the OSI calendar of events. I'd also really quickly like to thank all of you for all of your guidance, both members of the board, legal services, Ms. Razak, and members and staff and cabinet. Thank you all for guiding me on my journey thus far. I look forward to the remainder of my term with you, and I'm so glad to announce that the search for the next student trustee will be beginning in the next 2 weeks. If anyone is interested, do not hesitate to reach out to Dr. Amy Cuspis-Sims in the Office of Student Activities, and she can provide more direction. Thank you. That's going to conclude my student trustee report.
Thank you. Item 1.7.3, the faculty union report. Kurt Ward.
So good evening and Happy New Year. You said spring term as I was driving to the city of Chicago at 7 o'clock this morning. You'd have been hard pressed to convince me it was spring.
At 9 o'clock, it got worse.
Fortunately, the drive back was much better.
Yeah.
Hey, there's some in this room who would say graduation day, graduation week is the best week or day of the semester. I'd make the case it's the first week of the semester. If you walk the halls around here the last couple of days, the enthusiasm, the anticipation, it was electrifying. It's like, this is great. I can't wait to get in the classroom and absorb some of this. So I'll still look forward to graduation, but I'm going to put week one right up there. And even before week one, the faculty and the staff, we gather and we get ready for the students. And I want to highlight two things that I found particularly just plain wonderful. One was a convocation. And I'm sure we're going to hear more about this in a few minutes, but we got to honor the past, and we got to get a glimpse of the future. And you just left with a really good feeling in your heart that, boy, I want to be a part of this. And then the following day, this is obviously for the faculty, but in our academic update, we got a really great presentation on Gen AI. And it wasn't that with year 4 against it, but just really some great ideas on how to embrace it. And we know here in academia, this is a huge topic right now. So I really walked away going, I want to know more. This can help me in my class. And so with those two wonderful things, I'll simply say, hey, everybody have a great term. Thanks.
Thank you.
Item 1.7.4, the adjunct faculty union report. I can't help but laughing because Laura, you can't get out of this, can you?
Good evening and Happy New Year. Just as a little background, Barb Wilhen teaches on Wednesday night. And so each month we talk and decide whether she needs to be in class or whether I need to sub for her. And so I sub for her there or I sub for her here. And that's how it seems kind of random who's here, and that's how that plays out.
So did you win or lose this week?
Well, I'm not sure because I'll be here later.
Take the fifth.
I should take the fifth.
Sorry.
Good advice, thank you. Good advice.
General legal services.
See, yeah, right,
Yeah.
right.
Anyway, the one thing I wanted to comment on, we had the adjunct faculty dinner last Thursday. We had a great dinner. We had welcome messages and update messages from a number of people. And we had then some subsequent sessions, AI, accessibility, iCampus. It's a really valuable thing that's done every semester. And we had a good turnout, and we appreciate that effort of the college to put that on for the adjuncts. It's really important for everybody to get together. It's the only time really that we see each other. Full-time faculty see each other all the time. We don't see each other. I mean, we teach Tuesday, Thursday here and Monday, Wednesday there. And so it's a chance for everybody to get together and be in the same place at the same time. And we appreciate that event. That said, this is the beginning of another new semester. Hopefully spring will get here sometime soon. And I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you again. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 1.7.5, the JJC Foundation report. Amanda Quinn.
Good evening, and I'm excited to give my report in my second week as the executive director of the foundation. So be nice to me. No, I'm just kidding. Just wanted to give a couple updates to you. The first is on our scholarships. Our first week back in the foundation was spent scoring 1,290 scholarships. So we could then apply the awards to the students' accounts, and Kelly Baker, our scholarship coordinator, is doing that now. The exciting news is we're still doing that, and we've already this year in fiscal year 26 awarded over $1.2 million in scholarships Yeah, it's exciting news. That's the most we've ever awarded in a full fiscal year, and we're still doing it. Now, just to let you know, our fall scholarships, we awarded most of our scholarships. We were really good about making sure students applied and we awarded them on their accounts. So some of that money has been pushed over to the spring semester if they didn't need it all. So excited about that, happy to share that, and I will continue to update you on those numbers as we go through the fiscal year. And then next, in a couple of weeks, we open the fall application, which is on February 1st. It will open. It's open till May 15th. Our high school merit scholarships close on April 15th. So Kelly Baker will once again be out in the community and at the high schools letting the students know that high school merit scholarships are available, and then our foundation scholarships are available too. So she works with the admissions office to make sure she's out there in the high schools at those events, the step-up days to share that information. So exciting news, and we're really busy in scholarships, but all good things there. And again, opening February 1st, and then the link is jjc.edu/scholarships. So you can share that with incoming students, current students, and students transferring to four-year schools, because we have scholarships for those students as well. I also want to note that any photo that we have in here is a current scholarship recipient from this year. So I like to use those photos in presentations so you see the real students that are getting our scholarships. The next thing I want to update you on is a little bit of giving highlight. At the end of the year, we really focused on two things. One of them is contributions to our endowments through our endowment report. That goes out in November. And the second is our year-end appeal. So between those two, we did receive other funds specific to those two things. We've raised $518,000. Money continues to come in for that. The endowment report is specific to people who have scholarships so they can increase their principal balance to their scholarship. So it's very exciting to know that we received almost $300,000 more towards endowments that already exist. And then our year-end appeal was really exciting. We actually highlighted Zach Hamidi. He actually works in our IT department. He was a student at JJC. He has a great story, so I hope you all paid attention to your emails and saw his story. He received the high school merit scholarship. He came here to work and works here. And now he's a donor to the foundation. So his story is really cool, and he was really excited to do it. And he was on our Roots and Branches podcast that Jen Davis does, our Director of Institutional Advancement, and he was in our appeal. So kind of fun to do that. And then lastly, another exciting giving highlight is Dr. Carolyn M.T. Engers, who was a retiree that passed away, left us a $2.3 million gift. And that was split between two endowed scholarships. These scholarships existed, so they actually have more than half that amount in each of them right now. But the first is the Carolyn M.T. Engers Associates Plus Endowed Scholarship. So that's for students that are still attending JJC, that are in their third year, that are in our Associates Plus program. Lots of students in cybersecurity, programs like that. So exciting that we have so much money for those students, because they're kind of like transfer students, but they're kind of not too. So I know last meeting, I think Stephanie Brown was here and being highlighted for her work with that. And then the other one is the Dr. Carolyn M.T. Engers Endowed Scholarship, which she had for years at the college, and fitting that CTE was highlighted tonight, but that is for students majoring in liberal arts courses or career and technical education. So $2.3 million is like $90,000 a year in scholarships for students. And I'm not real good at doing the math off the top of my head, but I think I'm right there. So that's some giving highlights just for the end of the year. And then lastly, I got two more slides. Just wanted to make sure that I promote the work that our grants office is doing. They have secured over $8.4 million in new and renewed grants this year, and they remain on track to meet their projections, which are about $10.3 million. I know you have the full list of awarded grants within the board book, but the total numbers are there so you know how much they've been doing and what a great job they do to raise that money. And then just giving you all a sneak peek, nobody else has seen this yet, but with the 125th anniversary, we thought we'd throw back to the 70s for our SAC campaign. Jen Davis is actually working on this as well, and we're doing some really cool stuff where she is going to promote these socks while highlighting old pictures in 70s yearbooks that have socks that actually look like that. So be on the lookout for that. That campaign is February 2nd to 18th. I hope you will all purchase socks and then wear them on the 18th, which is the sock day. It's not open to purchase them yet, or else I would give you the link. But we will make sure we communicate that to the JJC community. And then lastly, on February 17th, we're going to do an alumni night at our basketball game. Between the men's and women's game, we'll have a VIP reception that usually ends up around 6 p.m. So excited about that. I'll continue to update you on all our upcoming events and activities, but wanted to share that now. Any questions for me? Yes.
Are you guys getting involved with anything like we did before when we had this is the 125th year. Are we doing any celebrations? Because we did that before when I first came on, that we had the big celebration with the rings and everything that the foundation did. So is that gonna?
Well, as we roll out, I'll have a little bit more to say about this in my report.
Okay.
Trustee
I'm just
Barber. But to
asking.
answer your question, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And I can add to that for our spring appeal, we have talked about doing a 125th anniversary specific campaign that I hope will tie to the work that we all still have to meet about. But yes,
Yeah. Well, the only
we
reason
have
I
some plans.
Yeah, because I still have the JJC ring that I got when I first came on because of the celebration then. So
Yep.
it's like you guys were all involved in it.
Yes.
So yeah.
Any other questions? That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 1.7.6, the Building and Ground Committee report. Trustee Bottomley and Trustee Bishop.
I'd like to defer to Trustee Bishop.
Hello. So for the Building and Grounds Committee, we met today at 4:30 p.m. Well, I guess officially 4:35 if we're keeping track of the meeting minutes, but it's also the best committee on campus, even if we start late. Parking lot and road maintenance and J Building exterior facade will be presented in the February board packet, and the project itself will be beginning in May. In design is the repair bank erosion at Ring Road. It will appear before the board in February and March. In construction is the Whitendorf solar PV system. It's awaiting a permit, which should be received by the end of the week. The main campus Lakeshore Walkway is set to, the handrails are currently being laser leveled and are set to arrive by the end of January. The T Building restroom remodel and replacement of fire doors have all the materials for that project have been ordered. The black box theater air handling unit they've already built the mechanical room and it will be installed during the summer. The E Building heat wheel is in production with the project set to begin in May. The main campus lighting replacement had 130 lights replaced in the J Building over winter break, with more to be completed during spring break just to not disrupt student activities. The facilities master plan will be brought to interdisciplinary groups to form a final draft beginning next week. And for other business, we had FGM was a unanimous decision. 4 were interviewed of the 26 potential candidates, kind of highlighting Joliet's public comment today in that it is heavily supported by the community and was brought before college administration as well.
Good. Thank you. Item 1.7.7, the Board Policy Committee report. Trustee Garcia again, Trustee Harris, and Trustee Bishop.
Thank you. So the policy committee will be meeting later this month on the 28th. In front of you today, you have under new business, old business, item 4.1, we have 3 readings that are up for second reading and approval for board, approval of the board. And that would be 4.1.1, the board request for information, 4.1.2, alcohol use, and 4.1.3, the equal employment opportunity contractors and subcontractors. Once we get to that specific item, we'll go ahead and open it up for any questions and discussion. But that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 1.7.8, the Finance Committee report. Trustee Morales, Trustee Bottomley, and Trustee Bishop.
Thank you, Chairman. The Finance Committee, we will be meeting on January the 20th, so there is no report today. Thank you.
Item 1.7.9, the President's Report. Dr. Klein-Nemuel.
Chairman, thank you so much. Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome back. And I want to start with as Mario brings us up here. Keep you on the edge of your seats, everyone. I just want to start just a little bit of a sad note, Chairman. Just a little bit of a sad note,
Can't see the grass?
but only if you're a Green Bay Packers fan. Thank you, Chief. Thank you. You like that? Okay. Wiley, no, he's not. No, he's not. No, Jim Budzinski is a Bears fan, just for the public knows. Wiley has asked me to congratulate the Chicago Bears. So just wanted to start there. Okay. All right, just a quick look at enrollment. It started the spring semester. Cabinet met in this room earlier today, and I just want to, there's so much that goes into each one of these numbers. There's just so much activity that happens at the college the week prior to the start of the semester and the week of the first classes, the first week of classes. Students are changing their schedules daily. They're navigating with the help of our student development team, the complexities of both the federal and the state level financial aid system. They're seeking guidance from our foundation and our academic leaders, from program coordinators to chairs to the admin assistants who do a lot of phone calls the first week of the semester to move students in and out of sections as sections are either canceled or added. It's just a very fluid time, and chairs and deans negotiate with the VP as to what's going to go, what's not going to go. So these are really difficult decisions, but know this, that as a leadership team, we are always laser focused on our students, and that the decisions we make here in this room impact the lives of our students and the experience they have here at the college. That is always our primary concern. But there's tremendous effort by Dr. Brooks' team, by Karen Kissel's team, by Dr. Gray's team, to ensure that the first week of the semester goes off smoothly. So just a huge shout out to all of them who make this possible. It's something we take for granted because it goes smoothly at the start of every semester, but it's the result of some tremendous effort. So we're up in head count. Tuition credit is up a little bit. Dual credit, trustees, you'll recall, the accounting of that's a little bit different. So you'll see that number is going to be inflated for a little bit as those two numbers come closer together. I'm encouraged by the line between dual credit and tuition credit. For many semesters in a row, we've seen the impact of federal immigration enforcement and policy really impact the populations that typically populate our adult basic education program and our ESL program. And that's what's captured in that line there. So to see that number increasing even at this point in the semester is something I wanted to highlight to the trustees, and certainly something we should celebrate. On Monday morning, I sent this note to the board acknowledging, and this is, far from policy governance, Chairman. This is, right smack dab in the operations of the college, and it's far too technical to go through each one of these lines. So I'm going to do my best just to highlight the highlighted portions for the college community And just encourage the trustees, if you have any questions about any line on the eligibility and certification approval report, to please let me know. But imagine this report sitting at the top of a pyramid. And each level of the pyramid being the tremendous effort of all of our faculty and all of our staff to build an institution of higher education that is anywhere from stable to surviving to thriving and exceptional. So this is a validation specifically from the Federal Department of Education, acknowledging all of our tremendous effort and certifying the college to be eligible to distribute federal financial aid through the year 2030, acknowledging all of our good work. So of course, again, Chairman, just far too technical, but certainly something to celebrate. So I do want to acknowledge, the tremendous effort of our campus police department, but I want to highlight two individuals, scratch that, 4 individuals pictured here. One of them who refused to allow us to share and celebrate publicly not only her decades of service, but to celebrate her publicly in any way. Well, she is happily enjoying retirement in Arizona, and she's been sending us pictures of those beautiful Arizona sunsets. So I can no longer get in trouble for saying this, but Kelly Rogers, thank you for your service to Joliet Junior College. Fiercely private individual, and a fierce pickleball player as well. And of course, Christy Mulvey. So what we did instead of celebrating both of them publicly is on their very last day, Chief Campbell and I convened and had the brilliant idea to escort both of them, provide a police escort to both of them off campus. Now, until this time, neither of them had shed a tear, but Chief, great success to us both as they both cried their way out of Joliet Junior College. So thank you to Sergeant Luttrell and Detective Eccles for dressing up and making that moment special. Lots going on around campus. Thank you, trustees, who were able to join us for the nursing pinning, sending more and more nurses and LPNs and CNAs out into our communities. So another great nursing pinning ceremony. And of course, congratulations again to our national championship women's golf team, who I challenged to go back-to-back this year. We were able to acknowledge and celebrate members of our campus police department. And I did have an opportunity, while I won't betray the confidence of what I shared with all of our sworn officers, I have shared this in different ways with the board and the college community as a whole. There is so much more that goes into keeping the campus community safe than what you see. So I commend DC Williams, I commend Chief Campbell back there and the command staff especially for their leadership, putting together an incredible ceremony to acknowledge our sworn officers, the civilians that are part of that department in very meaningful ways. So Chief and DC here today, thank you for that. Appreciate Kurt Ward's shout out. And of course, no convocation is complete without a Trustee Morales selfie, complete with Trustee Harrison there as well. Trustee Broderick in the lower left-hand corner. That's the teaser that I referenced earlier.
The top secret one.
It's the top secret one.
I kept watching it because I couldn't be here because I was sick.
Gotcha. In the lower left-hand corner, Wiley handed me a top secret, we'll call it dossier, that contained plans to reveal activities and other things around perhaps a new logo, perhaps the results of the brand and perceptions that I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Only Wiley and I know at this point, but I suspect. more will be revealed over the spring semester. So if you haven't liked and subscribed to all of our channels on social media, please do that. We were able to again welcome Governor Pritzker to campus for the signing of SB 25, a sustainability initiative, and just want to, and I had a conversation with Kelly Roeder-Tonelli about this, perhaps in the February board meeting, we'll take a moment to acknowledge all of the individuals who are connected. We don't get a lot of notice for these things, but when we get notice, there's tremendous pressure on the staff to keep everyone safe, number one, and to ensure that the event runs smoothly. So I want to send special thanks to Governor Pritzker for choosing JJC, I believe, third time since I've been here and the fourth time since I've been here. And I anticipate that it will not be the last, so there'll be more opportunities for this. As we make our way around the district, the Namuo boys joined me willingly, I don't know, not willingly, to travel to support the women's basketball team at an away game at Morton College, where Coach Sanderson and the team let them live eventually, but ended up winning by 61 points. So shout out to Coach Sanderson and the women's basketball team. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the leadership of Representative Natalie Manley, a great champion, advocate of higher education in the state of Illinois, but a true champion for Joliet Junior College. Has a great Roots and Branches story. If you haven't seen it, please do. It is quite literally one of my favorites, where she describes parking in her car outside of the building and having to summon the courage to walk in to this building. She has chosen JJC to host the launch of the first of its kind Neurodiversity Legislative Caucus in Springfield. So just can't say enough about Natalie and her partnership and her belief and confidence in Joliet Junior College. We're glad to be a part of that. I do want to also take a moment to acknowledge our director of the Disability Resource Center, Disability Services, Adam Woke, who will continue to play a leadership role, has been closely connected to Representative Manley in this initiative, and will continue to advocate for JJC and for the community as well down in Springfield. As we take more and more steps toward expanding our presence out in Morris, Chairman, I want to take a moment to just acknowledge Ann and Dane and our Morris team currently, which I imagine at some point will grow. What they've been able to do over the last few years, working out of the old Chabanaw Middle School, has been incredible. So I thank them for their tremendous efforts, both on the credit side, on the non-credit side, to support our partnership with the Grundy and Kankakee Workforce Office as well. So to Ann and Dane, thank you for your leadership. And in Hawaiian, Chairman, it's Hau'oli Makahiki Ho. That means Happy New Year. And Trustee Broderick, and to the rest of the college community, we're going to have to learn this word, get really good at saying it. Chairman, happy quasquicentennial to you. Quasquicentennial. Okay, good job, trustees. And with that, Chairman, I'll yield back. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 1.8, at this time, the chair is requesting a closed session for discussion under 2C1, 2C5, and 2C21.
Move. Second.
Trustee Garcia Guillen.
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley.
Yes.
Trustee Broderick.
Yes.
Trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Morales.
Yes. Yes.
Trustee Bishop.
Yes.
Trustee Buzinski.
Yes.
Motion carries.
You ready? Item 1.9, return to public session. Requesting a motion, please.
So moved.
Trustee Garcia Guillen.
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Bishop?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 1.10.1, the approval of minutes for the regular meeting held on December 10th, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
Questions, concern? In regards to the first reading under 4.1 on the minutes, it says we had discussion. Where are the comments on the discussion for the 01.36.00 for board requests for information? There was a lot discussed then and brought out. And then under trustee updates, under 5.2, it seems like I'm the only one that got narrowed down. Everybody else got their comments said. Where are my comments? Because I talked about the words premium that I was censured on and client privilege, and I read all of the information from the ARDC on why I should never have been censured, and I don't see any of that in here, other than I should never have been censured. I think more detail should be, if everybody else is getting the detail, I should have detail in there.
And it says in here that you said that you should never be censured.
Yeah, and I gave full disclosure and read everything about the word premium and client, because I went back and listened to it last night, Karen, and I gave the full description and read everything about that it was shared legal interest, and it was jointly handled, and it was a common interest. It was not anything that the ARD said that I did that violated client privilege, and that it should never have been identified as a censure on me, because it was between two legal entities. There was no open meetings violation at all. It was not talked about in closed session. I never should have been censured on it. So that is not in here, and that's what concerns me, that I specifically brought that up and discussed it.
Can I be recognized?
Yes.
So as a reminder, whenever we have our minutes that our assistant to the Board of Trustees writes for this purpose, they're not supposed to be verbatim. They're not supposed to be word by word what we are saying, because we say a lot in a matter of 3 minutes, and sometimes we go over those 3 minutes. So the overall idea, and it has been captured here, is the overall idea of what we're saying whenever we do provide those trustee updates. And this is not new information, but this is just a reminder for us all. Thank you.
Any other comments? We do have rebuttal time if you need it.
I'm just gonna say then, narrow it down to everybody else then, Nancy, if that's how it's gonna be, because I sure got narrowed down, and I'm looking at trustee Morales's comments and yours and trustee Harris. It all got put out there. So if that be the case, then it better be across the board. Don't just do mine.
Can I do rebuttal?
Yes.
Okay. So I do want to provide a reminder whenever we're talking to each other in this type of setting, that we refer to each other as trustee, blah, blah, blah. So like trustee Garcia Guillen, and I will do the same thing for trustee Broderick. So just that we do recognize that we're trustees and we say our last name versus our first name. That's one of the things. The second thing is I would not request our assistant to redo her work that clearly mentions the key ideas for the updates that were provided by trustees. That's it.
And trustee Garcia again, that is where we are allowed to do and make corrections to the minutes when it's brought in front of the board. So we are allowed. Thank you.
I'd like to be recognized.
Yes.
Yes. Karen, thank you so much for the work that you do. So I know that
Thank you.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Okay. Thank you so much for your work, Karen, for the minutes. I know that the idea here is to give the grasp of what, the content, give some context to the main idea, and you've done that. I can't imagine how long it'd take if you did everything verbatim. So I'm perfectly fine with the minutes. This has been brought up before, and it's fine. Thank you.
Any other comments, discussion? We're ready to vote?
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
No.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Bishop?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 1.10.2, the approval and release of minutes of the closed session meetings held on 4/5/2023, January 17th, 2024, May 15th, 2024, Session 2, May 21st, 2025, closed session number 2, June 25th, 2025, August 20th, 25, Sessions 1 and 2, September 10th, 2025, Sessions 1 and 2, October 15th, 2025, November 12th, 2025, and December 10th, 2025, and the destruction of the verbatim recording of closed session meetings held on April 5th, 2023, January 17th, 2024, February 14th, 2024, March 27th, 2024, April 10th, 2024, May 15th, 2024, Sessions 1 and Session 2, May 22nd, 2024, Sessions 1 and 2, and June 26th, 2024, closed sessions number 1 and 2, and to find that the need for confidentiality exists for all remaining closed session minutes.
I motion for the approval and release of the minutes of the closed session meetings held on 5/21/2025, session number 2, and 9/10/2025, session 1, and the destruction of the verbatim recording of the closed session meetings held on 2/14/2024, 3/27/2024, 4/10/2024, 5/15/2024, session number 1, 5/22/2024, sessions 1 and 2, and 6/26/2024, sessions 1 and 2, and to find that the need for confidentiality exists for all remaining closed session minutes.
I need a second?
Second.
Second.
We're ready to vote.
Ready to vote. Trustee Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Bishop?
I'm so sorry. Can I ask, are we motioning for chairman's or?
Nancy's
trustees?
motion.
Nancy's
Okay,
motion.
yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 1.11, the approval of tonight's agenda.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no.
No.
Motion carries.
Item 1.12, the approval of consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
I'd like to have a couple things pulled.
Items?
3.1, 4.11.
Is that it? Okay. Any other items? Okay. We're ready to vote?
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Bishop?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 3.1, the approval to pay the listing of bills for the period ending December 31st, 2025 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Discussion.
I was waiting for you to say none. Trustee Garcia. Question I have is, I know you talked about the rebranding. Is that what I'm seeing here with the rebranding of printing? Is that part of this thing? Did you see that on this thing? There's a
Chairman,
bill
but-
of invoices, rebranding remaining invoices. Is that anything of changing anything for 17,840?
Trustee Broderick, we're investigating now. Yeah, go ahead.
Trustee Broderick, that's our monthly payment to the creative agency
Oh.
that the board approved and hired.
Okay, so
Yep.
that's not anything to do with the second?
It actually is, that's the monthly payment for
Okay.
Vision Point.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, gotcha. I have a couple questions in regards to bills. I had asked for something under the 5,000 mark, and I still have those outstanding. I did send you guys all emails, and I still have those outstanding that I haven't seen anything on. And I don't know whether it comes up in this area or not. I even have things that I asked and addressed about trustee repayment of the spouses going. I haven't seen anything of that. And I've also looked at the Hawaii and the New Orleans trips too, that I still see invoice questions that I had. When do I ask those questions? Because I was told to direct them to Dr. Namuo, and I've gotten no response back yet that has satisfied my investigation questions.
That was the proper way to send them. Do we have a timeline on those answers? Or do we have an answer?
Chairman, so I would respond by directing Trustee Broderick and the board to the purchasing process high-level overview specifically prepared for the Board of Trustees that outlines level of approvals, details our procurement process, purchasing process, and assure the board and the college community that not only does the college follow that policy and those procedures, but for the last however many number of years now that we've received not only awards for our budgeting, but an unqualified opinion from our auditors every single year I've been here.
Thank you. I guess my question comes in though, when I'm looking at that and I'm looking at the way you presented it to me, it seems like you can approve without any questions. We're your employer. And if I'm questioning like the van usage that was done in Hawaii, $892 or whatever, and that's paid by the college for 161 miles when there wasn't 161 miles to be done, was that ever removed and credited back to the college? And when I'm looking at airfare for Trustee Morales, she got paid a bit of money for her airfare. And the numbers that are not jiving on the trustee page are not jiving either. Because the stuff that I have FOIA'd for all of that is not matching up to what's on the report. So I'm a bit confused because what I see on the report versus what's I've got sent from the FOIA is totally different. It's like $1,600 she got paid for airfare. And airfare was $852.
Airfare is more expensive when you get it closer to that date, and I had not made a decision. So when I finally decided that I could go, and my health allowed me to do so, yeah, the rates for the airfare, as you well know, constantly change.
But for $1,600?
Yes, to Hawaii, absolutely.
And then are all of us doing the lowest airfare? Because even I saw Dr. Namuo using the Business Select, and we're all supposed to be using the lowest airfare. Or if we choose something higher, we're supposed to be paying whatever the difference is.
Is there a policy that outlines that?
That's always been, it's always been. All the previous, everybody has been, there is a policy, there's supposed to be a policy for it too. And then Nancy, she had airfare that she didn't use for $238.96. And then you got a credit for the registration of $649 with a balance still of $610. When I had airfare like that, I had to either pay it or get the credit changed to me. Did you pay it then?
I don't think that's relevant. You're not asking a very specific question.
Hey, you had a $238.96 airfare, and they gave you a credit for it. Because we paid, JJC paid for it.
Is what we're talking about actually listed in the approval of the bills to pay for ending December 31st, 2020?
How do you go through bills? How do you go through bills?
I'm just asking if this is germane to the point.
Well, you've got Nancy, who still owes $610 for the registration fee, and she's got a $238.96 Southwest airfare. I had to pay for those, or get the credit from Southwest to me.
Okay.
So if you don't use it, then the college has ended up paying
Trustee
for it.
Broderick, I believe you're out of time.
Any other discussion on the approval of bills?
Nope.
Ready.
Trustee Garcia Gann?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
No.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Bishop?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next pulled item is 4.1.1, which is policy 01.36.00, board request for information. This is a second reading.
Is there a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Once again, I'm gonna bring it up, guys, that every time I ask for information, and Nancy, Trustee Garcia, it really bothers me that last month you said that the trustees had the involvement. I FOIA'd it. I had initially sent an email request about the information about Morris. Sent all of you guys that. And I sent you the fact that I sent a FOIA for all the details of who requested this. It was Dr. Nomuro who requested the change in that policy. It's not appropriate. He should be answering our questions as trustees. That's what we are entitled to do. And the ICCB, I've talked to them, and we are entitled to be asking the president our questions. We are entitled to be asking him and not having the chair or the vice chair making a decision. And Brian, the policy does not read must, and I'll go back to the policy the way it reads. It says, the chairman of the board, the chair of the board, and, it shouldn't say and, it said or vice chair is, when the chair is not available, should be able to do it. And it says it's the responsibility of the chair, and it should not say and vice chair, but it doesn't say must. It doesn't say must, and it isn't identified as their duty, and it's not going to them more than any, it's going to them more than any other trustee. That's not designated in their duties, and we're all the same as trustees. This is not fair to do to us, and we are entitled as trustees to talk to the president. That's part of what is in everything that I've talked to the ICCB, the ICCTA, and even the Higher Learning Commission. We are entitled to get the information directly from our president. So every time I ask for something, I get and I'll say an excuse that I have to go talk to the chair. The chair has no clue what I'm asking. The one who has the information is our expert, the CEO, the president. So why are we going to do this? Because all trustees have equal authority and responsibility, and it should be given to us for transparency. Full access to information is needed for board decisions. A board cannot adopt a policy that prevents a trustee from accessing information required to perform our legal duties. This would be considered arbitrary, capricious, and a violation of trustee fiduciary obligations. And I am sticking to what I wrote to you guys, that it causes dysfunction. It raises red flags to dysfunction, red flags to bad governance, and it is taken serious by our fiduciary, for not doing our fiduciary responsibilities. And it would be considered abuse of authority, improper delegation of board power, in violation of our fiduciary responsibilities. And nobody should be screening our questions and deciding which trustees get information and decide which trustees the president must respond to.
Mr. Chair, may I ask a quick question?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick, you said you wrote to you guys. Did you communicate to all the members of this board about this particular policy on this agenda?
I sent this to them along last month, yeah.
In an email?
That was in the FOIA.
Okay.
Let's put it this way, I sent it to Trustee Garcia and Trustee Harris from the policy committee.
I have a couple quick questions, you don't mind?
Yes.
I just want to make sure that I have this right in my mind because I am fundamentally a rule follower. So obviously this is board request for information. Is this the process that we'll be following moving forward when the board packet goes out? If there's any questions, or is this just for? And I'm just trying to make sure that I'm reading it right. Again, a newer trustee, or is this really just in terms of access to the college files and any additional records outside of board agenda items?
I can go ahead and answer
Please.
that question. So the board policy that we're looking at is 01.36.00, the board request for information. So this is mainly whenever we have additional questions in response to the board book, that we need additional information in order to get clarification, more detail, more research, or if we're asking information in order to better understand the whole scope or the whole whatever we're trying to vote on. So What this will do is it is connected to the resolution that we voted on back in September 11, 2024, that the board approved, that was resolution 2024 R03, that was affirming the policy governance and board communication. So what this would do, again, right now we're doing the second reading, so it's going to be up for a vote. Once it passes, or if it passes, this would be the new process moving forward. Again, the goal with this is to streamline communication, to make sure that we are not creating additional questions and just distracting Dr. Namuel from the job that he has, and being able to streamline that communication by going through the chair, and again, the vice chair if the chair is not available, or something might come up. So again, the goal is not to stop communication necessarily. That's not what we would be doing, and that would not be in the spirit of being transparent and accountable to the community that we serve, but it's to streamline communication and be able to centralize that communication so that way we can answer the questions that are relevant to what the main topic is, versus extending ourselves and asking so many questions that are not relevant to what we're trying to vote on. Something else that I can go ahead and add since I have the floor, let me know if I answered your question.
You did. I have a couple other questions, but please
Okay.
carry on.
Let me go ahead and just mention something briefly, and then I can go ahead and pass it over to you. Again, streamlining the process is crucial, and also making sure that we're also providing the same information to other trustees without violating the Open Meetings Act. We do not want to be having communication and adding trustees to an email and having a response, because that would be violation of the Open Meetings Act. So key information that is discussed that is relevant to all the trustees is being communicated in a way that we will not violate those Open Meetings Act. In addition, and this was something that was mentioned last meeting, but I'll go ahead and say it again. This board policy is in guidelines to our Higher Learning Commission. It meets all the necessary requirements. It does provide the ability to make decisions for all the trustees in the best interest of the college. It also allows us to be able to be transparent and accountable. It also allows us not to be involved in the day-to-day operations, because again, we're a policy-making board, so we should be focusing on policy that will help the work that the college does, and make sure that the Dr. Namu is the one guiding day-to-day operations. The last thing that I will say is that, again, this is our commitment to making sure that everyone from the trustees are on the same page. And again, that we're streamlining communication in an effective way, not to cause additional issues. Any additional questions that you may have? And I can go ahead and answer them. And if not, we can go ahead and defer to legal, defer to legal.
Perfect. Thank you, Trustee Garcia again.
Can I answer part of that?
Please.
So the involvement of the chair is best, I can best use tonight's example of the report on our legal fees. That has been brought up every month for months. And a certain trustee has sat in this room, says we're spending more than we ever did. We're twice as much as the last firm, which was proven not to be true. We are in line with the last firm. We're way lower than the firm that they all wanted. But that keeps coming up. He's answered that question 6 or 7 months in a row. He sent information. He sends the report every single month to the trustee who's requested it. I watch all these emails come in, and she is not the only one sending emails asking questions. So when I get these questions, or people ask, and you say, well, he put that on. No, he might have put it on because he's had a conversation with me. If I go to him and say, such and such trustee has asked me for this, do we have a report? Is this information available? Just as with the legal fees tonight, he came back with the full comprehensive report about what we do regarding legal fees. And again, it was approved a couple years ago. It's in place for a few more years. There's no reason he should be answering every month why this bill was that, why, it should have been, and how we should have played, or what structure we're using. The structure is, we have a contract, we're keeping our bargain of it. We don't need to keep answering legal questions every single month. It's just a waste of his time, it's a waste of his staff's time, and ask Karen to put together another example. Well, what would it have been if we had done it this way? Who cares? We're not doing it that way. We have a contract, that's what we're following. So that's one of the reasons that it goes through the chair or the vice chair, is just so the delivery to this group is consistent. So I watched the emails. You guys all get emails from Dr. Newell monthly, weekly, on the state of the college. The information is in there. Most of the questions we ask are repetitive questions that have already been answered month in and month out. So, yes, it is frustrating. And I'm sorry that the policy seems that you're trying to jump through one extra hoop, but we're going to light it on fire so that we can keep him out of the fire. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm done.
Okay, can I continue?
Yes.
So I think that, like, as we're talking about this policy, I think that we all have a lot of examples that we can really use to drive home the point. But I think that as we are truly discussing this, it's important to talk truly about the policy. This isn't about an individual trustee. This is not about an individual topic. It's not about an individual request for information, right? We're talking about creating best policies, so and best practice. So, Chairman Budzinski, while I do appreciate your example, it is just that, it's an example. I'm sure that at some point I have also fallen victim to this as a new trustee, right? Trying to find what the rules are and how to operate within them. The things I really like about this is that all the responses, along with the original inquiry, shall be provided to all trustees of the board. I think that's really great. I think that really shows that, what we're all looking at. I think it also shows where all of our headspace is, and I think that makes us a better board to understand what page we're all on and what we're looking for. My only concern that I have, and I guess this is more so a function of Elaine Bottomley and how she reviews items, but when we get our board packet, I traditionally will review it over the weekend, right? And when I have questions, I will traditionally send them on Sunday evening, right? So then Dr. Newell will receive them Monday, and then that starts the 48 hours. So that's Tuesday, right? And then if we're going to go ahead and we're going to have all responses along with the original inquiry, if by chance it takes 48 hours, is going to be sent by Tuesday end of day. I'm going to be honest, I have a full-time job, right? On Wednesdays, I don't pre-look at things before I come here. I come to meetings prepared. So my concern is that the 48 hours and the time frame in which we receive the board packet and things get turned around, that's not enough time to review items. Again, this is a policy, and guess what? We make our own rules. We can address our own rules. We can adapt them. But I ultimately support the spirit of this, but that 48 hours, I think, is going to end up continuing to put us in a similar situation now where I haven't had enough time to review this. There was a lot of requests. There's a lot of information to go to. So I'm okay with voting on this as a trial to see how it works, where we're going, and then maybe come back and address it in the future. But that's something I want to flag right now.
Any other comments?
Comment, yes. I know that whenever I ask a question, and even though maybe Dr. Namul doesn't have an answer right away, he will delegate it to a member of the cabinet. And then they've always, in my 10 years of experience, have been very good about getting back within the 48-hour time frame. It frees him up to do what, and he understands what I need, sends it out, and then I get the response, and I'm fine with it. It's when, and these are reasonable requests, but when you get unreasonable requests, like you get 67 questions to one item, that's when it's unreasonable and it's very insubordinate. And that's why we needed to have a policy to have them go to the chair and the vice chair, and then if they can't answer, then they goes to, moves on. But that's why, because there have been, it's kind of abusive to do that to our president, to distract him from the job that we've hired him to do, that he's doing a wonderful job, to sit there and sabotage that way. It's really uncalled for.
Any other conversation? You got rebuttal time?
I would like to be recognized if that's okay.
Yes.
just kind of in preparation for the next student trustee, I also recognize they might have a few questions about things of this nature. So I understand your hesitancy with that 48-hour period, and I'd also be more than willing to bring that before policy again at a later date if necessary to make potential revisions. That's it. Sorry.
Trustee Broderick?
Wait, just trustee Harris still has to talk.
Trustee Harris?
Yeah, I do have a comment. I just want to say that when this came up, I did speak to some of the members of ACCT, and their response was some of the colleges do this. Some of them the trustees address their concerns to the chair. The chair relays the information in the method in which you do, and it supposedly streamlines the process and keeps the day-to-day responsibilities at a minimum. So I am for this because I'm sure all colleges have their way of doing things. And if other colleges in the national are doing it, I believe we're on to something, because we did have a problem. You know, it's too distracting for our president and then for the cabinet. And if we can get our responses back and all of the trustees are on the same page, we may not agree with the answer, but we're still getting the work done in a timely manner, and the process is streamlining and helping get the responses back. Then I think it's doable. I think it's workable. So I would definitely be promoting it. So I just want to add that I did talk to some of the ACCT members of other colleges, and I think that's kind of noteworthy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Trustee Broderick?
I'll say this,
Your
prior,
microphone's on. Your microphone is on.
Oh.
the prior board, under the prior president, always did, when we had a comment or concern or questions, it always came back to all of us. So that was there. It hasn't been here this time, but Dr. Mitchell always did. And Alicia, you know that, because if we had questions, if one question came, it came back to all of us. So that was there. It was part of the policy. Just to say this, if we are going to put this policy in place, if you guys are going to approve it, I hope to God that it doesn't fall flat on its face with using the excuse, and I'm going to say using the excuse, oh, the policy's this. I'll have to go back to the chair and talk to the chair to get a response. Because in everything that I write, I get, oh, we got to go back to the resolution 24 dash whatever it is. A trustee is asking the questions for reasons. And if you guys don't understand why I'm asking the questions, you're not sitting on the same side I am. I'm sitting being censured by you guys, sitting on a board that keeps throwing lots of negative words out there to try and make this board look horrible, because that's what it's looking like right now. It's still dysfunctional. And all I want to do is make us all work together, but you can't work together if you're going to start doing this stuff. You got a president that's making $325,000 a year on his annual salary. We have a right as trustees to ask questions and to get answers. He's the one that's most knowledgeable. He's responsible for all the administration recommendations that are brought to the board, and he's there to channel the information to us. And if we have a question, we have a right to ask. Don't take our rights away. We were elected by the taxpayers to get in here and to watch what's going on, and we have a right to ask questions of him. It's not to funnel questions to you, the chair, or to the vice. You're not employees. I'm sorry, you're not the employees, and we're not giving you the direction to tell us what we can ask and what we can't ask.
Any other rebuttals before we vote?
Yes. Our rights are not being taken away from us whatsoever. We were all elected by the people. However, in this board, we have an executive board, which is our chair, Bazinski, our vice chair, Nancy Garcia-Guillen, and we have our secretary, which is trustee Elaine Bottomley. They do have higher power than the rest of us. So yes, we are all elected, but we have an executive board and we follow the chain of command. So if you send reasonable amount of questions to the president, that's fine. But when you send like 500 questions, that is absurd. And no, we're not gonna, we have to filter them. That's why we had to do this, and we are working together. We all have fiduciary responsibility. We're all working together as best as we can without abusing the college president. And yes, I'm all for paying someone their worth for their experience and their education level, and his salary is very appropriate. In fact, it might even be a little low as far as I'm concerned, okay? So for everything that he has done and the results he has shown. So that's my rebuttal at this point, and I yield back. Thank you.
I think we're ready to vote.
Trustee Bonnemly.
Yes.
Trustee Broderick.
No.
Trustee Garcia Guillen.
Yes.
Trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee Bishop.
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next item is item 4.2, the approval to support travel for trustee Diane Harris as an ACCT committee member with funds from the ACCT travel budget.
So moved.
Second.
What are you approving? Where's the numbers? What are you approving? I thought you were gonna come up with a form that was presented so that you could see what the outlay of costs were gonna be.
No, that's something you want. All you keep asking was, well, who approved this? This is a chance for you to see that the board approves it or disapproves it. It says right here where the budget's coming from, and it's no different than when you were on the ACCT committee. No one knew where you were, what expenses you had, or anything like that. All this is doing is simplifying Karen's responsibility for keeping track of this. She now has board approval for Diane to, providing we approve it, for Diane to participate in ACCT events, and for it to be a charge to that portion of the budget. This is what you've been asking for.
No, I've been asking for a report to be submitted, not for something like this. I said a report that was written. I gave you a written report that showed you could write down what you were doing with an estimate of the cost. Because right now, all you're just saying is, yeah, anybody can go, and you can use
And
whatever
nobody,
money you
there was
want to
no
use.
consensus to use that report.
Pardon me?
There was no consensus to use that report. It was what Maureen wanted. This
No, it's
is,
what Maureen recommended.
this is what you also recommended, that the board should approve these things. So that's what
With-
we're doing.
With the report.
Okay, we go back to the other way where you liked it when the chair just wrote the report. You don't want the chair having that responsibility. Because you told me that you had the report that was written by the previous chair for you to participate.
Yeah,
And we
you do
didn't
that
vote
for
it.
Diane to participate in the ACCT committee.
So, and that's where we're at. We're no longer making this a chair decision. We're making it a board decision, which is what you've been asking for. So this is a board decision. It's a request for approval to support travel for trustee Diane Harris as an ACCT committee member with funds from the ACC travel budget. You asked for transparency, that's as transparent as it can get. She's on the committee, will we fund it? That's what the board's approving tonight.
So you do know that other trustees can go to this thing, correct? It's not just designated for the ICCTA trust, or trustee, right?
With board approval.
Okay, with board approval, then. But I mean, I don't think anyone else has been asked. I mean, I guess Elaine was asked, but I guess because Michelle and I are not in good standing because we've been censured by you guys, we can't do anything, right?
I don't understand how that's relevant to item 4.2.
Well, it is. I'm asking because if she's been getting approved and you're gonna get the next, I'm asking. Because how was it determined that this was on the agenda?
I put it on there because Maureen keeps asking me who approved what. This is transparency.
Okay, fine.
And incidentally, it's not even required because the policy already supports it happening. This is something I wanted on there so that it was in front of the board, so we were completely transparent, that this is what we are doing, and it's no longer going to be a surprise to you. So yes, I did get these two put on. I insisted these two get put on because they're board expenditures. This is your opportunity to say yes or no.
Are you asking anybody else?
Whether or not to approve these, I'm not asking anyone any direct question. This is on the agenda for these two people to go.
No, what I'm asking is, are you asking anyone, any other trustee to go to this?
To go to what?
To this, to the conference,
Which conference?
the National Legislative Conference
Where?
in Washington DC. It says February 2026 National Legislative Conference.
I don't ask anybody.
Then how are they on here?
Let's go back to the agenda item and vote on it.
whatever.
If I can have a quick second, I'd be more than happy to elaborate
When we get to
on
the
that
next
for
one,
mine.
that's the next item, though. Let's wait till we get to
Correct,
that.
so 4.3, I would
So
like to
this is
elaborate.
still the approval to support trustee Diane Harris as an ACCT committee member with funds from the ACC travel budget.
You have a motion, you have a second.
So move.
Oh, it's already.
It's already.
Are we ready to vote?
We are?
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
No.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Bishop?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next item, 4.3, the approval to support travel for trustee Elaine Bottomley to attend the February 2026 NLS conference in Washington DC with funds from the GLI travel budget.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I'm gonna ask this again. How did Elaine, because this is a national legislative, there's no committee meetings other than you get to go see your legislators. So please explain how the choice was chosen for those that are going.
So I would have loved to kick this item off, but instead, thank you, Trustee Broderick, for your commentary. I attended the local ACCT. I'm sorry, guys. I still don't have- ICCT. The acronyms, man. Like we're still not there. I attended our local one along with Trustee Harris, and I really found it valuable. I really enjoyed connecting with some fellow trustees and really got to talk to them about their experience, about how long-standing they've been there, and really felt like there was a wealth of information. In the time that I got to spend there and talk with fellow trustees, a couple of them asked me if I had looked at the national conference in DC, said that they've always found value in it, and I went home and you know, I am a millennial. I Googled it. And I looked at the agenda. I noticed that they have a new trustee orientation. I saw that it is on Sunday in the morning, I believe. And when I saw that, I believe, and Karen, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe I immediately emailed Karen. I said, hey, I'm really interested in attending this. I don't know what the proper procedure or process is to request this. So I had reached out directly about my desire to attend because as a new trustee, I still feel like there's a lot that I could learn. I think that I have a good, fresh perspective, and I'd like to go learn a lot and bring back some information to share with you all. So this was self-motivated, right? Like I am elected here as we all are, right? And I want to try to do the best that I can, and I want to learn. And I've heard from all the trustees up here the valuable resources that ACCT provides, and I would really like to have the opportunity to go. So I appreciate this is in front of you guys. I appreciate that it now gives me an opportunity to give my pitch. So I'll be voting yes for myself. I hope you do too.
No, and Elaine, that's good that you did that. That all the trustees are encouraged to go. When I was going to DC, and Kelly can confirm this, we would ask and have asked, trying to get more trustees to go, but they wouldn't go, right? We couldn't get trustees to go. It was like nobody wanted to go. We would encourage it. So I'm glad you're going. Thank you.
Any other discussion, or can we vote?
We're ready to
We're ready to vote.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
Yes.
Trustee Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Trustee Bishop?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 5.1, the representative to the ICCTA ACCT, Trustee Harris.
Okay, thank you so much. Happy New Year, everybody. Last month we didn't have a report. I didn't have it. But anyway, and I don't have a slide today because I wasn't able to navigate it and connect it with this new telephone. I'm still learning, but anyway, the ICCTA and ACCT report. The GLI in Naperville, we met November 13th through the 15th. And gotta bear with me. The first thing on that agenda, we did do the roundtable with the ICCTA, but there was a diversity, equity, and inclusion statement. And what they wanted us to focus on or know about the Illinois Community College Trustees Association is that they encouraged and support the commitment of each of our member institutions to provide equitable educational opportunities for all. The wording for each college will be changed, and it also says that we welcome the diversity on our campuses and recognize its benefit to the education of all students as they prepare for success in an increasingly complex world. So as you take a look at each and every college, the community, you will see that some of the wording has been changed, but it still doesn't change the mission of what the community college stands for. So that was one of the focuses. And then also we talked about what's your why as a trustee? And some of the, this was in a large group setting, and we had a lot of representatives from other areas, and I guess these were some contracted individuals who came in to talk to us. But some of the questions that they asked the trustees, and the what is your why? And some of them were give back to the community, understand the need of the community colleges, help educate the youth. It was a family tradition. Maybe their parent was a professor, and then they were students, so that everybody in the family were connected to the community college. So the family tradition stuck. And then some said that they were asked to run, and that was a questionable topic, because if you're asked to run, is it something that you want, or is it something that someone else wants for you? So that's kind of what they wanted us to ask ourselves. And so if we have any trustees that need to ask themselves that, well, maybe you should do that. And if you attend one of the GLIs or something with ICCTA, maybe you can answer that question later on. And then we talked about onboarding new trustees. And this was a topic that was another form of making sure that our board is acting, well, we're working together to make sure that our goals meet the qualifications of a board that is, what did they call it? Functioning, not dysfunctional. I just didn't even want to use that word. But the thoughts for seasoned trustees was, what was the one thing you wish you had known in your first year that you had to learn on the fly? And what can we do to help new trustees, especially the ones, or what can we do to help new trustees? That's as a regular trustees. And then the people that come in are the ones that know everything. So if they know everything, how can we help those individuals? I mean, if they come into our college and they know everything, how can we help them? I mean, will there be any opportunity to have cohesiveness, or will there always be head bumping? We want to try to prevent that, and there's really no way to prevent that, because when they're elected, you're stuck with them for 6 years, and then we have to figure out a way to work out a plan so that these individuals will want to work with the college, and that's what we're going to work on, helping the onboarding process. So hopefully our president and his cabinet will be ready for our input on that, because that is very important for the cohesiveness of this board. So that was another topic that we talked about. And for some reason, this particular meeting, it was very comfortable. And it must have been because it was the end of the year, but everybody had some comments, about what we need to do, what we won't do again next year. So hopefully we can fall into that category as well. And we've talked about board self-evaluation. I think we've even done that. I think we've done a self-evaluation. So am I contributing? Are my priorities in the right place? Am I strengthening the board and CEO relationship? So those are some of the questions and some of the topics. And again, it was always focused on the board and how we can better serve the students. And if it's almost like in a relationship, if you can't if your relationship isn't working, then you can't serve someone else. So that's basically what we talked about. And I think, let's see, lastly, the purpose of the board. Stewardship of the institution in service of the public interest, protect the institution, assure fulfillment of the mission, and strategically plan for the future. And we also have our fiduciary responsibilities. And I know it sounds like I'm repeating myself, but we have to keep drilling it to bring it home because they mentioned that is the strength of the college. So we did go over the fiduciary duties again. The three most important ones is duty of care, duty of loyalty, and duty of obedience. And those are the three key components that will help a cohesive board, so that we help our president, so that our college body is strong. And we talked a little bit about policies and procedures and make sure that all of the policies are in a stable direction and focusing on steps to achieve a better college. And what I found, or I should say my takeaway, is to engage in the duty of care and operate in the interest of the college based on the federal laws and will act within the scope of these documents. So that was it. And we will be going to Washington, D.C. on February 7th, I think through the 12th, and I'll provide some more feedback from that. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I yield.
5.2, trustee updates. Trustee Morales.
Oh, thank you so much, Chairman. And thank you for your report, Trustee Harris. So as we begin a brand new year, I just want to wish everyone a happy new year and welcome everybody back to campus. We are living in times of uncertainty and worldly chaos right now, which makes it all the more important that we lead with empathy and with compassion. Each person here and each person we serve brings inherent value of some type. We share a responsibility to use our roles and our voices to make things better, to strengthen our community, and to lift one another up. When we keep our focus on purpose, service, and humanity, we help create the kind of future that we all would like to see for everyone. And in that spirit, before we conclude, I would just like to offer a brief reminder that our special needs students are being picked up daily at the J Building at about 2 p.m. And we have had some recent challenges with traffic flow, and Dr. Namuo has made some adjustments and taken care of that. But recently, we had a situation with a staff member. So I just respectfully ask everyone to remain patient and mindful during this time to ensure the safety and the dignity of all of our students, especially those that are getting picked up in the school buses over on J Building. So thank you all for your continued commitment to our community. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Trustee Garcia again.
My voice. Thank you, Trustee Morales. Welcome back. I know for many of us, coming back to campus this year did not feel simple. It did not feel light, and it did not feel separated from everything happening beyond these walls. Because while we return to classes and routines, people across this country are living with fear, loss, and exhaustion. Some are grieving loved ones who never should have been harmed. Some are carrying trauma caused by systems that were not created for them. And some are wondering, quietly or out loud, if their lives truly matter here. Education has always been born from struggle, from people asking, why is the world like this? And refusing to accept the answer because that's just how it is. There is injustice in this country that is not abstract. It has names, it has faces, it has families left behind. And when when harm becomes routine, when violence becomes policy, silence becomes complicity. I want to be clear. Feeling angry does not make you dangerous. Feeling grief does not make you weak. And refusing to look away does not make you radical. It makes you human. Because choosing to learn, to gather, and to imagine a future, that is hope in motion. This campus should continue to be a place where humanity is protected, where we mourn together, where we ask hard questions together, where we stand with those who are told again and again that their lives are negotiable. Students have always been the ones to say enough. Enough pretending that injustice is unfortunate instead of intentional. You do not have to have the perfect words. You do not have to know exactly what to do, but we must take action. Speak when something feels wrong. Show up for each other. Carry each other when the weight gets heavy. Because justice is not just built through policy. It's built through care, courage, and collective action. As we begin this year, let this campus be more than a place where we pass through. Let it be a place where we choose each other, where we honor every life, where we refuse to accept a future shaped by harm. Welcome back. May this year be one where we learn deeply and fight together for a world where no one is disposable.
Trustee Bottomley.
Yeah, thank you. I hate to follow that. Happy New Year. I said in our December meeting that I was going to come with my 2026 goal, and I know everyone has just been like dying to hear it. So like baseline in my life, my goal is to always have more fun. So that's just like personally, I hope we all can have more fun together as a board. But truly my JJC goal of the year is to try to spend more time on campus and spend more time here and in the buildings and in the hallways. I think that's valuable, provides additional perspective here on campus. So it is not too late to set a New Year's resolution. If you're not a New Year's resolution person, set one at your birthday, right? It's great to have goals. I do want to say I really appreciate our partnerships with our community. They're critical, they're important, they're impactful. I think tonight, especially with the City of Joliet and talking about the Public Safety Institute, that's all part of what makes us really great. And I guess that I'll end on, as much as I do enjoy the trustee updates, especially when we get to hear from each other. I do love to hear from you all. I love to learn from you all, especially with great remarks like Trustee Garcia-Guillen just gave. It makes me feel bad for what I'm about to say. I mean, realistically, as we continue to move forward into this year, if our trustee updates are really such a problem, maybe we should be removing them from the agenda going forward. I do love listening to myself talk. But realistically, I think if they're going to become a point of contention in our meeting minutes, maybe we should just not do them. So, thank you.
Absolutely not. We're going to keep them.
Trustee Broderick.
Thank you. We at JJC are a governing board. We are here to establish our vision, mission, and broad institutional goals as our policy. We employ our chief executive officer, who the board depends on as the CEO for guidance and educational leadership. The partnership thrives on open communication, confidence, trust, and support. We are to create a positive climate. In order to do that, we have to make sure that we are looking for student success and adding value back to our community. However, boards fail sometimes, their institutions, when they act in such a way that can create stifling, negative, or dysfunctional atmosphere. We are to support risk-taking and challenge our CEO and college staff to strive for excellence, because excellence is the only way we should be out there doing. We should show excellence all the time. Effective boards and governing boards should show a model of commitment for the learning for the students, focus on outcomes, support professional growth, seek consultation in developing policy, be ethical, and act with integrity. Effective boards and governing boards should monitor progress towards goals, monitor adherence to operational policies, use pre-established criteria for monitoring it, and schedule a timetable for reports to be given to the board and for the CEO to provide it to us. We should support and be advocates for the college at all times. Effective governing board members promote the college in the community, foster partnerships with the other entities in the community, advocate the needs of the college with government officials, support the foundation and fundraising efforts, and protect the college from any inappropriate influence. We lead as a thoughtful, educated team. Good trusteeship requires the ability to function as a team functions best when all members are encouraged to contribute their unique strengths and are committed to working together. Effective boards engage in ongoing learning on board roles and responsibilities, are curious and inclusive, are positive and optimistic, support, and the main word is respect. They do not throw any negative words, use anything to deteriorate any board member on the board, because we don't want to show any substance of showing any dysfunctionality or incohesiveness to the board. We want to stay strong and stay as a team. We want to get rid of the word dysfunctional, and the only way we can do it is by working as a team and showing respect to each of our members. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Harris.
I just want to say welcome back, congratulations, and thank you to the officers that keep us safe here at JJC, and just a word to the students, just to know that they're there to protect you, and all of us, that is, and obstruction is counterproductive to what they're here for. So we appreciate their service, and we look for a great year in 2026. And congratulations to Amanda on her new position, and I look forward to great things for 2026. I yield back.
Trustee Bishop.
As we begin the new semester, I'd like to remind returning and inform beginning students of a few resources available to them, and also like to remind faculty and staff, just in case any students approach you. The Office of Student Activities to find your place in the Arboretum and plant your roots. We'll talk about the Foundation podcast at some point, but I'm not going to bring it up. I won't steal the thunder. Anyway, Student Wellness, which serves as a watering can with 9 LCPCs available, or 20-minute walk-in appointments to help with general issues, as well as a student pantry named the Wolves Essential Pantry. And don't forget to download the Wolves Safe app. You can talk to Chief Campbell if you need any information about that. He probably hates that I just called him out like that, but it's okay. Not enough people have that Wolves Safe app. Also, just a really quick reminder, it gives a social out. So if you're in a social setting where you feel uncomfortable, you're anxious, you need to make a phone call but don't feel comfortable telling someone that, click that button, you'll get a phone call. It helps. I think that was it. Just wanted to kind of remind you all of some of the resources available to students. The Office of Student Rights and Responsibilities also serves as a kind of catch-all if you have any general issues. It also helps with code of conduct, so don't get caught in there for that. But, I mean, we learn from our mistakes, right? Anyway, I appreciate your time. Thank you, Chair. I yield.
I think it's too late, but I wanted to go back to the president's report. There was some miscommunication at the beginning of it. right as he was getting ready to switch to the Bears screen, he had a picture of our campus covered in snow. And I said, I don't like that. At the same time, he posted a story where the Bears had won. So there's some confusion as to whether or not I'm a Bears fan or a Packers fan. I've already been scolded. It isn't true. I'm actually a huge Bears fan, but just so you know.
For the record.
I just wanted.
I would like that reflected verbatim in the minutes.
You know, I was born and raised in the 60s. The Bears were terrible. The Packers were good. So, you know.
But 85 was good.
Yes. So anyway, now that that's clear, we don't have to pull the slide back up, but it was the campus under snow that I wasn't happy with. Other than that, Kelly, thank you for bringing a great partner to us tonight. Caring for children that don't have someone to care for them is very important. I know I challenged all of you at the end of the last meeting to make a difference in somebody's lives over the Christmas holiday. Hopefully some of that has happened. I have talked to a couple people that I know they were doing that. And it's still important whether or not they're students here or those that are lost in our communities. It's up to us to find them and support them. And with that, I think we're ready to adjourn. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. We are adjourned at 9:10.